It's time for the X and Y Show with your host, Mr. Roosevelt. He talks about man topics, lady topics, and relationships. He talks about love, sex, and infidelities. He even gives good tips. There is no other show that compares to the X and Y Show.
Oh yeah. Sit back, take your clothes off, and relax. It's time for the X and Y Show, where real relationship issues are talked about and addressed. The only place on the planet that tackles the topics that everyone wants to talk about, but no one is brave enough to address. Nothing escapes X and Y, baby. Now, here's your host, Roosevelt Colbert.
And greetings, and greetings. Welcome to another segment of the X and Y Show. I'm your host, Roosevelt, and we are now 2 weeks away from Christmas. Can you believe it? 2 weeks away from Christmas. My favorite time of the year. And it's cold everywhere in the world but Miami. You know, I have to get used to this shit again because, since high school I left, and I've always been in places where there was a change of seasons, and cold and snow. Now it's like, 80 degrees. I got to get used to this shit again, but I still love this time of the year. It's 2 weeks before Christmas. All of my shopping is done. I don't mess around like that. I get it over with because the crowds are just ridiculous. But it's kind of hard for me to shop when it's hot as hell. When I was in the cold places like Atlanta or Juneau or Jersey, I like going to the malls, because I like going to shop and then going to get your cocoa or your drinks, and that's how you meet a lot of nice young women out during that time. This is a good time of the year to get a girlfriend. It's right before Christmas, so you don't have to buy her shit, and it's, getting ready for the next year. It's cold, and it's just a good time for everything. Everybody's happy, and it's just a good time. I love this time of the year. Love it. But it'll all be over in about 2 weeks. Well, there's still a little holiday cheer, but it's just not the same because people take down the lights and the trees and all that kind of stuff. But, still, it's winter. Winter's my favorite time of the year. So, with that being said, I'm going to enjoy these last 2 weeks before the big day. And hopefully you guys are doing the same. I hope you guys got all your shopping done and everything's not as stressed as it usually is for you. And hopefully the holiday seasons is good to you like they've been good to me. Hope you're watching Christmas Charlie Brown and Frosty the Snowman, Rudolph, and all of the favorites that we watched as a kid. And just enjoy it. Enjoy this time of the year with your family or by yourself. Whoever you may, or your dog, your cat, your fish, whoever it is, just enjoy it. Because, we can't take these days for granted now. With that being said, I'm going to get started on tonight's episode. Tonight's episode. There is so much more to a woman than just being a sperm receptacle. Let me say that again. There is so much more to a woman than just being a sperm receptacle. Now, I say that because, when I was younger, not now, I thought that, don't get me wrong, I've always had respect for women. But I always thought that was their purpose. their main purpose, is to share their pussy. And particularly with me. I didn't mean anything by it. It's just, that's what a man's supposed to do, right? That's what a male species is supposed to do. It's supposed to mate with a woman. So when I was young, I looked at women strictly off of a pussy rating. Nothing else mattered. How good is her pussy? How good could her pussy be? That's all I cared about. I didn't care about her intellect. I didn't care about, her goals. I didn't care about what kind of family she was coming from. I didn't give a fuck about none of that. I was thinking about, how good is the pussy? I bet it's some good pussy. That's all I was thinking about. Like I said, I didn't mean any harm. It was just, that's the way I was supposed to think as a young, whippersnapper. Thinking about purely the physical aspect and benefits that a woman provides, with her body, or with, more specifically, with her pussy. That's all I was thinking about. But as I've grown older, and more mature and more wise, I realized that women are much more than just pussy. Women are much more than just sperm receptacles, or collectors, whatever you want to call it. Women are so much more, purely. A lot of times men forget that. And some men who are older now still believe that. I'm talking about men in their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s even. Still believe that women are just here to fuck and that's it. Which is unfortunate. But a man that has grown, a man that has matured over the years will know, should know, that women are much more than just something to fuck. Women are more than just a pussy. Women are more than just a nut. Women are simply more. And a lot of times maturity tends to have a bearing on how we believe that. If you were to talk to me in my 20s, I didn't believe that. I don't care what you said. A woman was just simply pussy to me. In my 30s, I wasn't as bad as my 20s, but it's still basically, I still live basically the same laws. Just pussy. But now I realize that I was totally wrong. Totally wrong. Women are much more than that. Women are more special than that. Women are more important to our everyday lives than that. And the quicker that we believe that, the better off we'll be. We as men and us as society as a whole. Women are a part of us. They are life and life breeders. Women are so essential in the world that they should never be thought about as just being a pussy or just being a sperm bucket, or just a good nut. Women are so much more than that. Now, a good woman, let me tell you something about a good woman. I'm not talking about a scallywag, and when you look at that, I shouldn't really say that. Because when you look at someone that's not, quote unquote, a good woman, what got them to that point? What was their past? Maybe they had been molested, or maybe they've been experienced something that has thrown them in a deep depression, and they just don't give a fuck no more. It's always a story behind why a woman is not, quote unquote, a good woman. So I think that we shouldn't just throw them away. Everyone has a story. Everyone has a reason why they got to the point that they are. So just because someone is at a low point in their lives, you shouldn't just say they're a trail of trash, or bitches, or hoochies, hood rats. You shouldn't say that, period, really. But you shouldn't insult them without knowing their story. Something happened to them that they're at the point that they are. They're just giving up. So, just because a woman, is not, quote unquote, what society deems as a good woman, doesn't mean that they're not a good woman. Doesn't mean that they don't have a good heart. It just means that they're at a bad point in their lives currently. What got them there? That's the question. But that's another topic. So I'm going to start again. I just wanted to go behind that question. I wanted to dig deeper in it, because I'm telling you what society deems as a quote unquote a good woman. In my eyes, a good woman would be your best ally. Be your best ally. If you have a good woman at your side, nobody has your back better. Nobody. Nobody has your back better than that woman. If she's a good woman, if she truly, not necessarily loves you, but she's going in that direction. She cares about you a lot. Or she might not love you at all. You're just good friends. And she cares about your well-being. She has your back. A good woman will have your back, and nobody can have your back better. Trust me on that one. When a woman has your back, when a woman is in your corner, you're very lucky. You're very blessed to be at that point in your life, to have protection from a woman. I've known a woman in my past that will fight. If you come at me wrong, and fight men. It's like, whoa, baby, it's all right. Go. He mean that. She just playing. Hold up now. Women be ready to throw blows on your behalf. Some of them. If you really want to go back, some of them be ready to cut for you. So a good woman is a very good asset to have. A very good blessing to have. Because nobody has your back like a woman does. I don't know, maybe it's the motherly connection. I don't know. The female connection. I don't know what it is. The protector, matriarch. But they have your back. When a woman has your back, she has your back. It's a good thing to have. A good woman is strong and provides emotional support to their families. Or to their men, too, But, to their families, if you're in a relationship, to their men. If they're families, then they're married, to their husband, and definitely their children. I don't have to elaborate any deeper on how a woman protects her children. A lot of times her children is first and the husband is second, which is understandable. Same thing for a man. But you definitely, a woman provides emotional support to their families. They're like the in-house psychiatrists, in-house psychologists. MD everything. The mother plays a lot of roles in a family or a relationship. That's hard to come by. That's hard to come by. When you get a good woman, you should appreciate what she's giving you as a man and giving your family, your children if you have them. Because she's given a lot. She's the person that is holding everything together. She's the bridge of the family. And speaking of family, everybody knows women are the mothers. They actually carry a life in them for 9 months at a time. 9 months. I know I wouldn't want to do that shit. I'm so glad that men are not designed to have babies, because it wouldn't happen if it was me. Fuck that. We adopting. We adopting. It wouldn't happen if it was me. So I'm so glad that women are the lucky ones to have that talent. Women, they are the starters of families. They have our children. They have our children. What more could you ask? A woman has your baby. What more could you ask from a woman? She carries around half of your genetic material in her body for 9 months. Then at the end of 9 months, she gives birth to your offspring, your daughter or your son, or your sons or daughters, twins, triplets, all that shit. But she gives birth to your genetic material. That's your child. That's what a woman does. Can you feel the importance of that? Can you feel the weight of that? What she just did for you? For 9 months? Carried around a baby, let alone, gaining weight, being uncomfortable, sleeping all fucked up, eating all that fucked up food, and, not being able to do half the things she used to do. The list goes on and on. She does that for you. Can you feel the power of that? I know I do. That's power. That's what a woman gives us. What more could you ask for? Now, don't get me wrong. I know a lot of you are saying that, hey, I know I have kids, but, me and her mom, we just fucked one night and she got pregnant. I don't give a fuck about her. She don't give a fuck about me. I know that happens. But if she decides to have that baby, even though she don't really care for you, she still had the baby. That has to account for something. She carried the baby for 9 months. It's still your kid, your baby. She didn't have an abortion. That has to account for something. So no, it's not ideal, a one-night stand or just a fuck or a booty call that, the condom broke or whatever the case may be. But she still had the baby. She still decided to have your genetic material in her body. She still had your son. She still had your daughter. That ought to account for something. Now, another thing women are, they are, like I said before, they are the glue of the families. Mothers are the bridges in families. They keep things together. They just keep shit together. A lot of times, women / mothers, or just women in general, they bridge bonds between the children and the father. A lot of times they initiate things where the father is not thinking on that level. And it's not that the father don't care or don't give a damn. It's just a lot of times men think of things in different ways than women do. So we don't see shit until women point it out to us. Like, hey, woman, why don't we go on a picnic? Or why don't we go to a game or a concert, Christmas concert together or something? And then the man just, oh, yeah, you're right. Okay, I'll get tickets. So sometimes women have to point shit out to us because we just don't see it in the same way as they do. It's not that we don't care. Just a lot of time we don't see shit. So women provide that. Women provide the set of eyes that we need. As far as keeping a family together and doing things together with the family, becoming a stronger family. You need to talk to your son. You need to go talk to your daughter. A woman provides that. Women is the glue of the very essence of a family. And in many instances, a woman are the mother and the father. I know a lot of you know single mothers. I have cousins that are single mothers. I have friends that are single mothers. My sister is a single mother. So I know firsthand, where many women are the mothers and the fathers of the family. Because let's face it, when you get a divorce, 98% of the time, the kids go with the mother. Or not even a divorce, when they just have children, the kids are with the mother, pretty much. So a lot of times there are single mothers, single parents. So many times the mothers are the mothers and the fathers, or play the father roles within families. Because many times fathers are just not there. They're not in the picture. And sometimes fathers are there. They just ain't worth the shit. So women still had to pick up the slack and be the man of the family too. And that's a lot of a problem in today's families. I believe that I talked about that on my earlier shows about, men being real men. If you're there, be a fucking man of your family. Be the leader of your family. And if you're not there, things just didn't work out, still have a presence in your family's life. Don't just abandon them. Just don't send a check and support them financially. You got to be there emotionally as well. They still need you. You're their father. And a lot of times men, forget that. Well, I'll send a check. I sent them a check. No, you stupid motherfucker. You need to go there and deal and talk to your son. You need to go there and deal and talk to your daughter. That's your family. That's your blood. And too many times women have to take on both roles of the family. There's too many women out there that has to be the mother and the father. And I know a lot of times, that's just how it has to be. But it shouldn't be that way. Women are not built to be fathers. Even though some have done a lot, actually, have done a great job. And, they've done it well, but they shouldn't have had to do that. They shouldn't have had to do that. But that shows the greatness of a woman. Sometimes shit happens. But she has to take on both roles within the family. And a lot of women do it with, no problems, no ills. They just do it. They get it done. That's the power of a good woman. The power of good women, whether you're talking about singular or plural, but it's power. How many of you men out there think that, and don't get me wrong, there's a lot of single fathers too, okay? There's some single fathers out there holding it down. They don't have a wife, or the wife passed, or she just stepped out of the picture, whatever the case may be. They're single parents. But how many of you men listening to this show right now believe that if your wife was to step out of the picture, was to leave abruptly, or some kind of way, she's not in the picture? How many of you think that you can actually raise your family? Now, if they're teenagers and stuff, that's different, because they're kind of, they can take care of themselves a little bit. But I'm talking about like if they're young kids. How many of you think you can do that? And don't get me wrong, I know a lot of you could. But how many of you would want to do it? Think about it. How many of you would want to say, well, damn, I got to do this? And I know a lot of you would. A lot of you, I know I have friends that did it. Their wives weren't in the picture anymore, and they took up the reins. But I guess, you don't see it too often as you do a woman taking on two roles. It's almost like women are, I don't want to say better equipped, but they're more expected to do that role because, like I said before, the kids usually be with the mother. So a mother kind of really has no choice. She has to take on that second role. Whereas a father, they shouldn't have a choice either. But a father would, okay, they might say we're going to stay with grandmama for a while. We're going to stay with grandmama and granddaddy for a while. And again, I'm not saying that all men would do that. I'm not saying that men can't be, wear both roles. But I do believe that it's more difficult for a man. Yes, I will say that. It's definitely more difficult for a man to take on that role. So the power of a woman, that should teach you more and more to respect the power of a woman, because she has the actual presence of mind to take on that second role and keep it rolling, keep it moving. No problems. It's power. A lot of times, I know you heard the old saying, this is my better half. Yeah, I'm going to pick up my better half. And, that's really not just a saying in my eye. That's a very true statement. Women is in essence, they are our better halves because they complete us. I mean, without a good woman at our side, where would we be as men? Where would we be as a society without a good woman in our corner? I mean, think about it. If you're right now, if you're listening to this show, you got a girlfriend, and you should be naked because, I want everybody to be naked while they listen to my show. If you're listening to the show with your girlfriend or listening with your wife even, think about it. Where would you be without your wife or without your girlfriend? I'm not saying if your girlfriend or boyfriend, you guys just been going together a month. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about couples and relationships that's, 3 or 4 years and you damn near married, you engaged, and you planning the wedding and shit. I mean, you deep in a relationship, not just for a new couple. And for a married couple, well, that's obvious. But where would you be without your wife or your long-term girlfriend? Where would you be without that woman? Where would men be without women? Where would men be without women? Where would society be without women. A good woman. And, you know, just to name a few, what would President Obama be without Michelle? What would he be? I think about that. If he would have never met Michelle Obama, I don't know her maiden name, but if he would have never met her, fate is a strange thing. Would he have ever become president? I mean, you think about it. I mean, it's not a crazy question. It really isn't. If he would have met any other woman or didn't meet a woman, would he have ever become president? Now, we'll never know, of course, because we can't go back in time and fast forward and all that shit. But I'm going to take a guess and say no. She's a special woman. Now, I don't know her, okay? I don't want to pretend like I know her. But, from the perception that I get from watching her and seeing her, she's a very special woman. She's the perfect woman that was needed for a future president. And to be honest with you, I think if he would have gotten he could have gotten with another woman if she was like Michelle. If it wasn't a woman like Michelle, I don't think he would have ever been president. I really believe that. What if he would have got with a woman, and baby, I'm running for president. What do you think about that? And, she was like, well, no, honey, I think, no, let's not do that. No. I don't know. Who knows? But she wasn't encouraging him to do that. And he changed his mind. He said, I'm not, okay, I'll just be a senator. I'll be a mayor of Chicago or something. Or I'll just be an attorney. But but if he would have met Michelle, who knows where he would be? But my point is, she's a very strong woman. She was the right woman to be at his side, to be the future president. And quite frankly, quite honest with you, I don't believe if he would have met Michelle, a woman like her, he would have been president. Where would Bill Clinton be without Hillary? Where will Bill Cosby be without Camille? Where will Bill Gates be without Melinda? Where will Mark Zuckerberg be without Priscilla? Where will Spike Lee be without Tanya? Where would John Elway be without Janet? Even Janet was his first wife, and they're divorced now, but still, during his playing years and, very crucial time in his life, she was there. And I said John Elway because he's my favorite quarterback, and I think he's the best quarterback of all time. I'm a Denver Bronco fan, if you guys didn't know. But anyway, I'm getting off the point here. But my point is, these men, whether in entertainment, politics, or sports, they've always had strong women at their sides. Point blank. Point blank. Where would you be without your woman? What would you be without your long-term girlfriend? What would you be without your wife? What would we be as society without women? Good women. So the next time you think of a woman and you look at a woman, if you're in your 20s right now, and you're in your 30s, your 40s, or your older teens, 18, 19, your 50s, 60s, and you don't know, the next time you see a woman, realize that they're not just a chick. They're not just some bitch. They're not just a hoochie. they are not just a nut. They are a part of us. They are breeders of our families. They are supporters to our causes. And they're simply just there. I'll just say it. Without them, without women, we are men. We as men are nothing. I'll say it again. Without them, without women, good women, we as men are nothing. We ain't shit without good women. We as society is nothing without good women. To women, we need you. We appreciate you. And we love you. So if you're sitting by your girlfriend or your wife, make sure you tell her that. Tell her that you need her. Tell her that you appreciate her. Tell her that you love her. Because she is a good woman. And where would you be without her? All right. Well, that concludes tonight's episode. I hope you guys and ladies enjoyed tonight's episode. Remember that you can catch the XY show on a wide array of different platforms for your listening pleasure. I'm on Google Play. I'm also on Stitcher. I'm on iTunes, and I'm on TuneIn. So please subscribe to the platforms that you choose as your favorite. Remember to subscribe to me and follow me so you can always catch new episodes that I put out weekly, every Friday. I'm also on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Tumblr as well. So be sure to follow me on those platforms as well to become more familiarized with the show, and also be informed when new shows come available as well. And you can find all of that on my website, which is www.thexyshow.com. It's www.thexyshow.com. You can also contact me and send any constructive criticisms through a contact form, any suggestions on shows that you would like to hear, or just say hello. Anything you'd like to say to me, you can do that as well on my website. And also visit the XY store where you can buy a shirt or coffee mug. Other units are coming in the future, probably in the beginning of the year. So, but be sure to get you a shirt or a coffee mug. Take a picture and send it to me. I would definitely post it on the XY Instagram account and show people that you are a true XNYer. So, with that being said, it is 2 weeks before Christmas. I'll see you next week. It'll be 1 week. Isn't that wonderful? So, with that being said, that concludes another episode of the X and Y Show. And I want you all to remember, you cannot have love without X and Y. Good night, and I will see you next week. This is your host, Roosevelt, saying later.
You've been listening to The X and Y Show with your host, Roosevelt Colbert, the place where real relationship issues are talked about and addressed. Join us next time. You can now put your clothes back on, or not.